Hi guys, welcome to my outdoor studio today. We are headed into the Everglades along Alligator Alley or Route 41, where I'm going to get set up with my easel and my paints and my tripod and film this little painting excursion. This is one of my favorite places in the world, and I love to be out here in nature, in the sunshine and the fresh air, and hear all the sounds of the birds and the animals and be painting. Just there's nothing like being fully immersed into the world that you're focused on your canvas as well. There are many trails in the Everglades with clearings and openings and built-in walkways to get you over the water, and you can set up in a lot of places. There are also these towers that are built all along 75 and in different parks along 41, so both the new and the old Alligator Alley, and they have really nice facilities, and it's really easy to get a great vantage point out over the grasses and get some beautiful views of both alligators and the lily pads and the waterways. So there are just so many options. If you find yourself in this part of the country and you want to set up, I can give you a list right off the top of my head of probably 50 amazing places to go painting. So anyways, today I'm set up at one of these towers. And these are really nice because you don't have to bring as much equipment. You don't have to hike. My car is right behind me, and you get some more passerby. I had a lot of visitors, a lot of kids were fishing, and it was just like really cute and sweet. And you're still out in nature. You're out pretty far, actually. You feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere, and yet there are other people there fishing. I'm right by a boat ramp, as you can see. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. I also bring this tabletop easel when I go to one of these towers, and it's a little bit sturdier and just easier to pop out of my car and set up. So there are times when I bring my full tripod field easel, but this is really simple. So I'm going to link all of these supplies below just so you can see some good options to use if you want to try this yourself. And so I just want to encourage you, whether or not you live near areas like this, there really are so many places, if you think about it, where you can set up and paint. And this is whether you live in New York City or Kansas or California, wherever you are, there are just way more places than you would initially think where you can set up your easel and do some painting. So there's actually a gas station that I visited on my drive today that is one of my favorite little places. It's the Miccosukee General Store, and I have this goal/plan of setting up there one day just in their parking lot so that I can paint it plein air. I think I would get a lot of angry Floridians trying to drive around me, but it's just one of my favorite little spots. And I think it could be a fun spot to paint sort of in the moment. One thing I want to say about plein air painting that I think stops a lot of artists from really getting out there and trying it is you have to accept that you're not going to have everything you might need. You're probably not going to have every color paint that you want. For instance, here I forgot my Courbet green, which is usually my very first color that I use to sort of lay down the lines, and I just mixed it up from what I had. I think I used a raw umber and a green gold and a little bit of cerulean, and it worked perfectly. So you can really get creative. You can also finish it once you get back in the studio. I never consider a plein air painting to be completely finished outdoors. Now, sometimes there's only a few little details. Other times there's a ton of work that still needs to be done on it when I get home, and that doesn't detract at all from the plein air experience. It's just really so wonderful to be out here, and whether or not you complete the entire painting is kind of irrelevant. And to me, it's not just about the experience for myself, the artist, of being out in nature, which is something that I really love. I love to be outdoors. I especially love to get my boys outdoors. When I'm more motivated one day, I want to get this setup going while they can be there fishing. Maybe that will be a goal for this summer, but I think it's also about the experience of the painting, being in the location. Now, this might be a little bit woo-woo or out there, but energy is so important to me, and I really spend so much time as an artist thinking about the energy of the painting, of the works that I send out into the world. And there's something extra special to me about a painting that was created in the location of the painting. It just seems like, to me, it really extra embodies that energy. And there is such incredible energy in so many of these natural places that artists paint. I know there are many energy vortexes here in South Florida, and just the special energy of the Everglades is incredible. It's the same out on Chappaquiddick, on Martha's Vineyard. It's the same in so many places that I love to paint. So if you can create a painting that's really from that location, that really just embodies and soaks in that energy, I think it makes it extra special for the collector. And again, I know that that is a little bit woo-woo, a little bit out there, but it's really such a huge part of why I love to go create these pieces outdoors. So I really can't make my first video ever on plein air painting without including that topic. But to get back to the basics of the actual painting itself, is you don't need that much. You really don't. I brought about 4 brushes. I think the largest one is the Bright Shape size 12, and then one, small round brush, and 2 bright size 8s. And that was it. That's all you really need. Honestly, I could have done this entire painting probably with 1 brush, but I'm weird like that, and sometimes I get in the flow and I don't switch out my brushes. So you really don't need very much. You really just need a few things. When you're painting plein air, it's really easy based on your location to know which colors you need to bring as well. So that was pretty easy to decide. I think I brought cerulean blue, a cobalt blue, titanium white, green gold, raw umber, and Cinnabar green light. And the cadmium yellow, that too. So that was it. And I sort of choose in the moment. So I could have created the painting with some different colors, and I did get into the water a little more once I got home, but you can really create with very little. So again, I'm going to list everything below that I used, and I'm also going to list a general plein air painting supply list if you wanted to go buy some stuff yourself and think about trying it. It's pretty simple to get started. To get an easel like this is a nice one for a tabletop easel, which I like because it's so sturdy. You can't tell here, but it's so windy today. The water is so still and calm. Well, it's moving here only because the video sped up 5 times, but the water was so still and calm. It was not lost on me that if I had my other easel, I could be set up down by the water where I would have been out of the wind and I would have been a lot less freezing, but it is what it is. And here is the finished product before I went into my studio and did some touch-ups. And I'm just really happy with it. And every time I see this painting now, it brings me back to that day and being outdoors. So thank you for being here with me. Please subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in the next one.